Alright, this video will cover a network tap I designed using a Raspberry Pi 4, but before showing you how this works in practice, there is a web page linked somewhere here that breaks down everything from the configuration of the Raspberry Pi to the scripts it runs to the circuit diagram so you know how to wire everything up yourself, links to the 3D model you can download, yeah, all that stuff. So, all that being said, here we go. Alright, just so we can see like a practical example of how this works. So, the switch is connected to my network. PoE out is powering this device and providing that network connection. It is being bridged from ETH0 to ETH1 over here, and then ETH1 is plugged into my computer. Over here, you can see it's got a network connection. Everything's good on that front. And in this case, I don't know if you can read that or not, but the current mode it's in is in NTAP ETH2, which means instead of copying to the USB stick right here, which you'd see it flashing if it was, it is copying to this second USB to Ethernet adapter, right? So this guy is actually being fed into this computer right here. And so if we start running a TCP dump on this interface, only filtering for ICMP, right? You'll see nothing's coming through right now. But the second that we start pinging anything, for instance, right now, it's just set to my default gateway. As soon as that starts going, we see that being mirrored across here. So that's one of the modes it can be in. You can either copy it to an external interface or copy it to the USB stick or have it function more as just a device on the network. So yeah, pretty straightforward. What's also neat is you can't really see it, but this micro USB plug-in on the outside right there, that actually connects to a USB to TTY adapter, which is that thing with the red button on there. And then that connects to your TX and RX pins on the Raspberry Pi. So I'm pretty sure I'm connected right now, actually. Yeah, if you have like PuTTY or something, if you're on Linux, it'll be under dev somewhere. And then if you're on Windows, it's just gonna be one of your COM ports, right? So this is where I'm actually logged in. And if you wanted to connect wirelessly, this is the, come on, focus up. That one right there, the NTAP ad hoc. That's the ad hoc network that's being hosted on the wireless interface of this board right here. And then your clean shutdown button is, if I can move this around at all, clean shutdown button is on the outside corner there. And then your cycle mode button is right there in the center. So, yep, I think that's a good case example. I just wanted to briefly point out, so that was running in the ETH2 out mode. The other two modes are copying to the USB stick directly, right, which is this guy, and it just, you can unplug it as you wish, plug it back in. Just keep in mind storage on this, like this is, storage comes pretty cheap, right? Case in point is, this is a 128 gigabyte drive I got for free, so, but just keep in mind like how long it would be on the network, how many devices would be flowing, would have the traffic flowing through here, right? Because that can add up very, very fast. So you might need to establish a baseline of what to expect and then, yeah, go from there. Talked about, oh, the other mode I accidentally created was it turns it into an IP phone, right? Which, think about it. This is a PoE powered device. This interface is set to like your regular DHCP, so it gets an address, but at the same time it keeps the bridged interface open. So this still acts as your second Ethernet out that can receive its own IP address. So that's why it's essentially an IP phone, except it's not a phone. So yeah, those are the three modes. I talked about the shutdown button over here. I talked about the cycle mode button here. Power, again, it's got the PoE hat, which is this black thing in the back. You could also use USB-C if you want to, or you could attach a battery pack to the bottom somehow if you wanted to. Just kind of depends on your situation, right? But yeah, that's about it. So